Our brand new done-for-you business development system will help you book 10 to 20 qualified sales calls every single month using this secret trick without relying on referrals, word of mouth, so you can sign your next 5 to 7 new clients in the next 84 days. So let me introduce myself again. So my name is Ramon De Belen, and I'm one of the co-founders of De Belen Digital. We're a lead generation agency based in the Philippines. So I also have a Facebook page with over 43,000 followers. And this year, we're looking to expand internationally, specifically in the US, and we specialize in helping recruitment firms and B2B agencies book more qualified sales calls and meetings using our cold outbound strategies. So I tried everything under the sun to book meetings until I discovered this secret trick. So the old way, or the bad way of doing cold email and setting up booking meetings online, was sending a cold email and asking for the meeting up front. So the reason why this is the old way is because years before, this worked like crazy. But today, in today's environment, it doesn't work as effective as it used to. Okay, so before, people were sending cold emails asking for a meeting up front, but the problem is the market has already not saturated, but the market has sophisticated. Everyone is getting bombarded with these types of messages asking for the meeting without providing any value up front. So the reason why it doesn't work today is because everybody's doing it, okay? And the result is we are getting less replies, okay? Less replies meaning less booked meetings and less clients. So what is the new way to actually book meetings this year? So the new way to get more replies and book meetings is, instead of asking for a meeting up front, we are going to be asking them if they want to watch a quick video on how our process works. Okay, so for example, we send them a video sales letter or a VSL as a lead magnet. Okay, so when the prospect asks for it, we send them to our YouTube content where they can watch the video. And when the prospect watches the VSL, it's natural that if they like the video and if they understand your process, the next step would be for the prospect to book time on our calendar. Okay, so after they book a time, that's when we do the discovery call or the sales call via Zoom or Google Meetings. And then if they like what they see, if they like our presentation, then they become a client. They sign as a client. Okay, so what makes us different is that we leverage VSL or video sales letters to book meetings instead of just relying on asking for the meeting up front. Okay, so the benefits of using a VSL is you can sell your service without talking to people. You can warm up your prospects before the call, and this is very important. You significantly shorten the sales cycle. In short, you get paid faster. Okay. Number 3 is you can also qualify leads, since your leads are already educated before they book for a call. So most people ask for the meeting, but some of those calls are not qualified. So the VSL fixes that, so that you'll only be hopping on calls that are very qualified, ready to buy now, are your ideal clients, okay, and are a decision maker when it comes to purchasing or availing your service. So before using a VSL, we were getting results like this. Okay, so here in this graph right here, you see that we have sent at least 1,000 emails, and we only got 3 positive replies. And we actually didn't book any meeting when we were not using a VSL. So after using a VSL, okay, we got 53 positive replies. And out of the 53, we got 40 to 50% booking a call. So that's almost half of 53. So we got at least 20 booked meetings out of these opportunities here, just by using a VSL. Okay, so before using VSLs, there were more negative replies from people like this. So they said, stop emailing me, please stop messaging me, please remove me from your list. So basically negative stuff, negative emails that they don't want to be bothered. Okay, but after using VSLs, these were the replies that we were getting. Okay, so here, hey, Wednesday 12 Eastern is good, happy to discuss. Okay, sure, let's talk. Here's my calendar, next week is best. Yes, available now up to 3 p.m. China time today, Zoom call. I scheduled us time for tomorrow, let's talk then. So these are the types of replies we're already getting, because the reason why this happens is because of the VSL. They pre-sell them on our offer, and at the same time shortens the sales cycle as well. And lastly, it warms up the prospects so that everybody who hops on the call is either ready to buy now or already knows us, right? It's not a cold call anymore. It's a warm call. So how do you book 10 to 20 qualified sales calls every single month? So in the next slides, I'm going to walk you through the entire step-by-step system on how we can help you sign your next 5 to 7 clients in the next 84 days using our cold outbound strategy. Okay, so let's start with step 1, which is scripting and recording your VSL. Okay, so the very first step that we're going to be doing when we decide to work together is that we script and record your VSL, the most important step. Okay, so we're going to be using a proven 8-step VSL framework that I use personally and for our clients, and I'll personally review and help you script the VSL as well. So basically, this is what will create interest for your offer, create trust and rapport, and pre-sell your prospects by warming them up. Okay, so this is the most important step right here, step 1. So once you have your VSL, step 2 is actually finding and targeting the right people to contact. Okay, even if we have the best VSL, if we're targeting and not contacting the right people, it doesn't matter, right? So step 2, we create an ideal client profile. So we filter based on the industry, the job title, the revenue, the employee count, the location. So for example, you're targeting, you're in the tech space, so the industry is IT or technology. The job title, maybe you're targeting the CEO. Their revenue, they must at least be making at least $1 million a month. Employee count, maybe you're targeting someone who is at 50 employees or 100 employees. And location may be the US, okay? So after we create our ideal client profile, we scrape the leads and find the decision maker emails from the databases. Okay, so we get the decision maker's name, email, phone, LinkedIn, etc. Why decision maker? Because they decide if they wanna buy your service or become a client. Okay, so lastly, the last step is to clean the leads. So why do we clean the leads? We clean emails, so you'll only be sending your emails to verified and active email accounts. Okay, we don't want to end up in spam and bother people or send emails to people who have inactive email addresses. Okay, so what is a qualified meeting for us? So a qualified meeting is someone who, number 1, shows up to the actual Zoom call or the meeting. Number 2 is they are a decision maker inside their company. Okay, and number 3 is they fit your ideal client profile. And lastly, they are looking to hire. So this is what makes a qualified meeting for us. So how do we make sure that you only talk to qualified prospects? So again, number 1 is we only reach out to the decision makers that fit your ideal client profile. So that's number 1. Number 2, the VSL actually does the heavy lifting. Okay, so we use a VSL to qualify them, to pre-sell them as well for your on your service or your offer. Okay, so people who don't like what you have to offer in the VSL will not be able to book a call. Only the people who book a call have watched the entire video and have been pre-sold already. Okay, and lastly, we also have inbox managers who answer replies from people who we reach out to, and they are responsible for qualifying, or basically we qualify interested prospects and disqualify those who are not a good fit via email. Okay, so after we build out our lead list, it's time for step 3. We now set up our email outreach system. Okay, so this is the tech part of this entire process. So number 1 is we buy the domains that we're going to be using to send out our emails. Number 2, we set up the email accounts. Number 3 is we do an email deliverability setup. And number 4 is we warm up our emails. So what does this mean? So warming up and doing our deliverability setup basically means that we don't end up in spam. Okay, if you don't do this setup right here, we don't warm them up, the emails, it means that we won't be able to land in our prospects' primary inbox, and we will be sent to spam, and Google might also ban our accounts. So we don't want that. That's why we do this entire setup before we send out our emails. Okay, so next up is, what does the setup look like? How many emails and domains do we need? So typically we buy 17 to 20 subdomains. Okay, and we create 3 email accounts for each domain. Okay, so 17 times 3, it's typically between 40 to 60 email accounts. So we're going to be sending emails from these 50 to 60 email accounts. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you why we're going to be needing these many email accounts later on. Okay, so here's what it looks like. So for example, we have our primary domain, recruitmentcompany.com. Okay, so we're going to be buying domains that look like this. So similar to our main domain. So we're going to be buying recruiter.com, gorecruiter.com, recruiteragency.com. So domains that are similar to your main domains. We call these the subdomains. Okay, the reason why we buy subdomains is that so that the main domain won't be affected just in case if the other domains get banned by Google. Basically, that's how we protect the main domain's reputation. So the email accounts that we'll send from will look like this. So for example, david@recruiter.com, david@gorecruiter.com, david@recruiteragency.com. So it really depends on who you want to be sending out to. So the name and what type of email accounts you're going to be using. Okay, so this is just an example of what it looks like. So here's the most important part that I'm going to mention to you. Volume negates luck. So you remember that we're going to be sending out from 50 to 60 email accounts. So it's impossible. Do you agree that it's impossible to not book meetings and not get at least one client if you're sending out 1,500 emails per day or 45,000 emails per month? It's impossible, right? If you're sending that amount of emails, if you're sending that amount of volume, you're gonna get a lot of attention from your target market or from your clients. And the more emails we send, the more meetings we'll book. That's basically the math behind this. The more meetings we book, the more clients will sign. Okay? So again, volume negates luck. All right, so now that we have set up our email system, it's now time to move on to step 4, which is writing and sending the email campaigns. Okay? So our email campaigns consist of at least 5 emails. Okay, so cold email number 1 is the initial email we send out to our prospects, and we do at least 4 follow-up emails that follows up on our prospects if they don't reply. Okay, so we do follow-up email 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we'll create cold email scripts with copywriting fundamentals and clear ROI statements. So we also research and test different email copy, subject lines, and single target audiences so that we ensure that the campaign will be successful and that you get a lot of replies and book a ton of meetings once we launch this campaign. Okay, so we don't just send out random campaigns, email campaigns. We rely on the data and we decide based on the data. That's why we test out different email copy, subject lines, and single target audiences so that you'll get more higher response rates and book more meetings. Okay, so what does a cold email look like? So before that, I'm going to be sharing with you the 4 parts of a successful cold email. Okay, so number 1 is the intro, number 2 is the offer, number 3 is the case study, and number 4 is the CTA, or the call to action. So let's first start with the intro. So the intro is basically the first line of the email. So the whole goal of the intro is to show our prospects that you have done at least some research on the prospect. So a lot of questions, a lot of times people ask me, Ramon, won't they be receiving spam emails from us? So the reason why they ask this is because we're sending out 1,500 emails a day. We're sending out 45,000 emails a month, right? So the way we mitigate that, or the way we fix that, is we do some research on the prospect first. Okay, we build rapport and we explain why you've reached out to show that we are not a spammer. So the first line is the one that solves that problem. Okay, so how do we actually write the offer in our cold email? So again, the second part of a cold email is the offer. Okay, so how do we write it? So we only do 4 things. Number 1 is our offer should include a final, tangible end result. Okay, later on, I'm going to show you what it looks like. Number 2 is the time frame. So how long will it take for our offer or the result for our clients to get the result that we want them to get? Okay, number 3 is our unique mechanism. So what makes us unique? What makes our system unique versus others? Okay, and lastly is our guarantee. So what if it doesn't work? What's your guarantee? Okay, so later on, I'm going to be showing you what a good offer looks like. So again, a good offer has the final and tangible end result, okay? Or what the end result for our client is. Number 2 is the time frame. How many days, how many months does it take for them to get the end result? Number 3 is the unique mechanism, what makes our offer unique. And number 4 is the guarantee, okay? So number 3, for the third part of a successful cold email is the case study. Okay, so case studies are the most powerful part of your email because it is undeniable proof that what you say is going to work, and also removes risk for your prospects. Okay, a case study can be a testimonial, a review, or a result that you got for your previous clients. Okay, and lastly is the call to action. So there are 3 types of call to actions that we're going to be using, but the most important call to action that we're going to be focusing on is the value CTA. Okay, the reason why we do the value CTA is because it gets more responses because of the VSL. So an example of a value CTA is, can I send you a video, or the call to action. Okay, so a soft CTA is just, mind if I send more info. A hard CTA is basically asking for the meeting up front. Let's hop on a 15-minute call. We rarely use these two. We only focus on the value CTA because we found that we get more replies, and the more replies we get, the more booked meetings we'll also get. Okay, so I know it's kind of confusing, so here it is in action. Okay, so here's an example of all the parts of a cold email and what makes it successful as well. So let me just read this. Hey John, congrats on being recognized by Clutch as a top recruitment firm in Boston. Heavy competition. So this is the intro. Okay, again, what is the intro? The intro basically tells them that we have done research on their company. Okay, and shows them that we're not a spammer. Okay, and also builds rapport as well. So this is the intro. Anyway, real quick, created a video for CyberDuo going over the executive search framework we used to help Advantis find and hire a SVP of sales in less than 45 days, which scaled revenue from sub 100 million to over 350 million in ARR. May I send it your way? So here is your offer, and also the case study intertwined. Okay, so we created a video for CyberDuo. That's the company that we're reaching out to, going over the executive search framework. So this is the unique mechanism that makes us different from other companies. We use to help Advantis. Here's the case study. Find and hire a SVP of sales. So this is our offer in less than 45 days. This is a time frame as well, which scaled revenue from sub 100 million to over 350 million in ARR. So this is the final result, or the tangible end result, that is similar to what they can also get. Okay, so this is the offer and the case study intertwined. And lastly, the CTA or value CTA is, may I send it your way? May I send you the video that we created? Okay, so as you can see, this is one of the most effective and most successful emails that you can send out that will get you a lot of replies and booked meetings. So what happens next after we create and send out our email campaigns? So it's step 5. Now we go to managing the inbox. So what happens after a prospect replies to our emails? So we have a team of well-trained inbox managers who are going to be handling all of the positive replies that will be sent to your email inbox. Okay, so they're going to be handling objections, you're going to be answering questions, and also they're going to be qualifying leads as well. So typically they're going to be answering to questions like, tell me more, can you send me the video, let's book a call, or what's the price. So we handle all the questions, we handle all the objections, and we also qualify everybody who replies to your emails, so that you'll only be speaking with people who are qualified in the first place, meaning they are decision makers, they fit your ideal client profile, and at the same time they're looking to hire right now. Okay, so after our inbox managers replies to our prospects, and if a positive replies, okay, so step 6 is actually booking the call. Okay, so after they watch the video, it's either our inbox manager will book the call on their behalf, or the prospects 80% of the time will be the ones who are going to be booking a call on your calendar. Okay, All right, so let's do a quick recap. So these are all the steps that you need to be doing in order for you to book meetings with your ideal client. So step 1, we script and record your VSL. Step 2, we find and target the right people to contact. Step 3, we set up the email outreach system. Step 4, we write and send the email accounts. Step 5, we manage the inbox. And step 6 is the final step, which is booking the actual meeting or the call. Okay? So let's look at the numbers. So this is for our internal numbers, okay? So when we send out 1,250 emails, we typically see 1 booked call, okay? When we send out 1,300 emails, we typically also get at least 2 to 5 positive replies from our prospects. So mathematically, if we want 20 booked calls every single month, and if we send out 1,250 emails times 20, we need to be sending at least 25,000 emails per month. Okay, so in order for us to get 20 booked calls, we need to be sending at least 25,000 emails. Okay, so for all these booked calls, we tend to see a 75% show up rate. So 75% of 20 is 15 show ups. 15 show ups is basically people who booked a call and actually show up on the call. Okay, so out of the 15, depending on your close rate, for this example, so we do have a 25% closing rate. So 25% of 15 people is 3 clients per month. Okay, so the result is 40 to 100 leads generated every single month, 10 to 20 qualified sales calls booked, and 3 to 5 clients closed. So what can I do for you? So we'll help you script your VSL, we'll create your ICP and build your lead list, find decision maker emails by domain, set up email accounts, email deliverability setup, email warm up, write email copy and follow-ups, email campaign setup, inbox management, weekly management and reporting, daily reports of positive replies, and campaign optimization. So this is everything that I've just mentioned in this presentation and everything that we can do for you. Okay, so I will do this for you. So if you have a great service and have worked with clients before, I guarantee to book you 10 meetings or even more in the first month or your money back. Okay? All right, so that's it. So if you want our help in booking more meetings online, let's talk. So even if you don't work with me, you'll at least have a good idea how to do cold email for business. So again, schedule a meeting with me. On the bottom of this page, you'll see our calendar. Just select a day and time, and I'll see you there. All right, so again, this is Ramon de Belen, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.